Ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to another edition of the NASCAR Fantasy Podcast. Not another live stream edition here today because I'm about to go on the road about an hour and a half outside of Pocono Raceway in Williamsport currently, and we are going to cover today's action specifically in the Cup Series race. As always on the NASCAR Fantasy Podcast, we go through all my predictions for drivers that you should not have in your lineup, drivers that could be potential sleeper picks maybe towards your garage in case they are having a great day. You can slip them in late in the race before the end of the second stage, and the drivers that will perform and will score you points throughout the course of the day. So, like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we get right on into this video. Starting off with the don't haves as we usually do, here is the first of two drivers you guys should absolutely not have today. And we're going to start off with Joey Logano. Logano's only got two top tens in two top tens in the last 9 Pocono starts for himself. Penske as a whole seems to be struggling right now. Brad Keselowski has only got 5 top tens this year in 17 completed races. That's not good. I've been harping on him a lot this season. Joey Logano in recent races has shown similar speed to Keselowski when they unload at the racetrack, but then he kind of wheels that car into the top 10. He doesn't have a great track record at Pocono outside of his one win all the way back in 2012 with Joe Gibbs Racing, so I can't say that you can actually take that into consideration that he has won here before. This is where he got his second career win, but again, you can't put that into perspective. It was way too long ago. It was a different car. It was a much different package, a different team. It's way too long ago to factor that in. So Logano's a no-go in my lineup. He should be a no-go in your guys' lineup as well. Kurt Busch is another driver who is on the don't have list for today. Kurt Busch has only one top 10 in the last 7 Pocono races. That came with Stewart-Haas Racing in 2017. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know 2018, excuse me. But still, I don't know what's going on with Kurt Busch at Pocono. He had a really good start to his career here with Roush and with Penske, but then after that, I mean, he's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. It doesn't matter whether it was with Stewart-Haas Racing, with Chip Ganassi Racing. He hasn't had a single top 10 in the last 4 races. In fact, his best finish at Pocono with Chip Ganassi Racing was last year. In the second race, he finished 13th. That's nothing to write home about, especially considering he is below the cutoff line. I would assume they're going to go for stage points today, especially knowing their track record here with Kurt Busch in that one car. They are the first driver below the cutoff line right now. I believe he's 24 points below the cutoff line, so he's within striking distance of Chris Buescher. You're going to be seeing some guys, especially in stage 1, means it's only, I believe, 25 laps in the first stage of the race. If it's the same as last year, it'll be 25 laps. And I think there's going to be a competition yellow in there as well. So we'll see. Some guys are probably going to stay out trying to take some stage points instead of hitting at the competition yellow. Other drivers are likely going to come in, or maybe everybody stays out. I don't know. But we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out, but I don't expect Kurt Busch to run well. He does have a good starting position because he did have a good finish last weekend with the random draw, and in a faster lap, all the increments that go into that, but I don't see him being able to hang on to it. It's a very risky pick, so no go on Kurt Busch, even though he has been better recently. And I will say this too: him and Ross Chastain both seem to be better on the 750 tracks. They've been hot. They were hot at Nashville. That's a 750 track. The road courses too. They've been hot all season. Those are 750 tracks. So the 550 tracks are lacking a little bit, and I'd say the one of Kurt Busch is lacking more than Ross Chastain recently as well, so no go on Kurt Busch for today. As far as the sleeper picks go, this guy isn't necessarily considered a sleeper, but because I've been harping him all season long, Brad Keselowski, again, he's only got 5 top 10s this season. He's only got 2 top 10s in the last 12 Cup Series races. That's not good at all, and I've been harping him for that. I figured this is going to be his last year with Penske because of that alone, let alone the Roush rumors that have been linked to him, obviously, over the last month or so. And you factor all that in, I think he's on his way out. I don't think Penske and that organization has really given him the best equipment now. They're probably just going to build for the future with that 2 team, or whoever, with Penske in general, now that Brad's leaving, and he has been there for over a decade. But regardless of the fact, if we're talking about today, Keselowski should have a pretty good day today. I do not see Brad Keselowski finishing outside the top 10, so that is a must. He will get his 6th top 10 this year. 9 top 10s in the last 11 Pocono starts, and he's actually got 7 top 5s in the last 11 Pocono starts as well. So look out for Brad Keselowski. Another guy who is on the sleeper pick for my sake, and I almost put him in my lineup. It's just risky because he is racing for Stewart-Haas Racing, and he's had probably the worst luck of any driver this season. That would be Eric Almirola. But I'm going to predict that Eric Almirola will get a top 10 finish here today. I believe that he can get it done. In the last 6 Pocono starts, he has 5 top 12s and 4 top 10s, including 2 top 5s in both races last year with the doubleheader. He finished 5th in race number 2, and in race 1 he finished 3rd. That was even with the inverted order, of course, because tomorrow's race, the starting lineup for the top 20 will change. They're going to invert literally the top 20. So let's say he finishes around 10th or so. He's going to get about that same starting spot again tomorrow. I think tomorrow will be a little harder on him if he gets a better finish today just because of how bad that team has struggled this year, but he does have great track record at Pocono. I think of all the ovals, that is not a super speedway. This is a 2.5-mile track still. I think this plays right into Eric Almirola's wheelhouse where he can just put it down full throttle at fast speeds and be able to get it done. So I am going to predict Eric Almirola to get a top 10 today. I think he's only got 2 of them all season, so that's a bold prediction. I think Keselowski gets his 6th top 10 today. And then I also think that this guy will get a top 10. Daniel Suarez for Trackhouse Racing. They have really picked it up late. They're actually also coming off a top 10 at Nashville. I believe he finished 7th, if I remember correctly, either 7th or 8th. But very good run at Nashville, especially late in the race with that strategy they played with pitting under the last stop. So they knew they were able to make it on fuel. They could push harder versus guys that were trying to save it. In fact, he actually jumped Kurt Busch, who did run out of fuel on the last lap as well. But regardless of the fact, great day for Suarez, and they've had some overachieving moments for a large part of the season. This is Daniel Suarez's one of his best racetracks statistically. He got his career best second place finish here with Joe Gibbs Racing back in 2018, and he does have 3 finishes of 8th or better in the time frame he was with Joe Gibbs Racing and Stewart-Haas Racing. So I think in a 5-race stretch he had 3 top 10 finishes there, so that is pretty good for Daniel Suarez, considering how we thought about him in his career. Again, he seemed to shine at Pocono. It didn't matter whether it was on speed, strategy, they seemed to get it done. The 99 team has had great strategy more often than not this season, and I think that's why they've gotten more outstanding finishes in 23-11. And that plays a large part into it because they seem to be running about the same spot throughout the course of the race, right about 10th to 15th a lot of the time, especially as we get later into the season, but it's Trackhouse who's able to get the finishes. They stay out of trouble, and again, they play the track position game very well, especially on the 550 tracks where that seems to be more prevalent. Today at Pocono, it's going to be very prevalent, and tomorrow at Pocono. This weekend at Pocono, it's going to be very prevalent. It's so hard to pass at this track, no matter what package you have. With this package, it only makes that even more so. So the restarts are going to be extra crazy, as usual. If you saw the ARCA race yesterday, I don't think it's going to get quite that crazy. They were just driving in over the head. That was just reckless abandon in that one. But regardless of the fact, you're going to be seeing some great restarts, as Pocono always seems to bring, no matter what the package as well. It's so wide down the front stretch. It's so long. You can get a big jump on. If one guy misses a shift or doesn't shift exactly right, perfect on the restart, you can jump him. You're going to be seeing 3 and 4 wide. So yeah, Daniel Suarez, I think he gets a top 10. And then as far as the don't haves, again, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, I don't think either one of those two are going to get a top 10. Now we roll into the must-have picks for today's race. These are 3 drivers you should absolutely have in your lineup without a doubt. We're going to start off with probably the more obvious one, Denny Hamlin. Yes, Denny Hamlin has not won a race this season. He is still the regular season champion, though. That's how consistent he has been this year. He has the second most top 10s this year and still tied for the most top 5s this season, again, despite not having a win. He's been slumping a little bit in recent weeks, but this is one of his better racetracks, if not his best racetrack on the NASCAR circuit at Pocono Raceway. He's got 6 career wins here, including sweeping in 2006 in his rookie season. That's when he knew that he was going to be very special, especially at this racetrack. 2 wins in the last 3 races there. Won the second race back in 2020 of the doubleheader last season. He also won the second race at Pocono in 2019, late in July. He's got 5 straight top 10s at Pocono as well to go on to it. And I think Denny Hamlin is a must-have. I think he easily gets a top 10. He's going to be in the top 10 all day long. He starts in the top 10, so that's going to help with track position, especially with that short stage one. And I expect Denny Hamlin to possibly contend for the win like he did last year. Another driver from Joe Gibbs Racing to the must-have is Kyle Busch. I think Kyle Busch has turned it on as the best Joe Gibbs Racing driver over the last 5 or 6 weeks, hands down. Truex has really kind of been fading. He's had some terrible finish in recent weeks. Again, we mentioned Hamlin's dropped off from the way he started at the beginning of the year. Hamlin's still running good. He's still running about 10, but he's not really in the top 5 competing for wins like he was earlier in the season. Kyle Busch has been. He got that win at Kansas, and he's been competing for wins a lot since then. He's got 8 top 10s in the last 9 Pocono starts, 3 wins in that 9-race stretch as well, and 5 straight top 5s in the last 7 Pocono races. So, not straight, but 5 top 5s in the last 7 Pocono races. So he's been very consistent. He's been running up towards the front a lot here. I think he would have contended for a win in that second race last season if Blaney didn't get into his left rear off the exit of turn 2 and wrecked him and junked him that day when I believe they were battling for third midway through the race when that happened in stage 2. So he probably would have had another top 5 there, if not maybe another win. You never know. I think Kyle Busch is definitely going to compete for the win today. He was almost my win pick, but this guy is not only my win pick, but is another driver, of course, you should have on your must-haves list today. I'm going to go out on the limb and say Kevin Harvick is going to get his first career win, his first win of the season, not first career win. It would be only his second career win at Pocono. His only other win at Pocono came last season in the first race, so the 325-mile race on Saturday that they ran last year is the same one they're running this year. Obviously, same package. I think that's going to help him out. He's got 12 top 10s in the last 13 Pocono races. That's just absolutely insane. And then he's also got 9 top 5s in the last 13 Pocono races as well. So he's been very, very consistent, even though he's only got 1 career win here. And again, it came last season. Very, very recent. I think Kevin Harvick is going to contend. He starts third today, so he should have the track position to score a lot of stage points. It's just going to really depend how they unload it. I think he's got a better chance of running better tomorrow. But Kyle Larson's streak has to come to an end at some point. Larson doesn't have the greatest track record at Pocono. He'll still probably run top 10 because he's with Hendrick and he is just that dominant this season. But I'm not going to expect him to win. I expect him to maybe win a stage or 2 because he's starting on the pole, especially 25 laps in stage 1. I would not be surprised if he won the first stage of the race. But I'm going to go away from Larson this week as a must-have just because he doesn't quite have the track record like he did at other racetracks that he has won at in recent weeks. But yeah, regardless of the fact, I think he's going to have a good day. But I also cannot use him in my fantasy lineup the rest of the year. I have used him 10 times already, so that also plays into it. But those are some other guys you guys can go out and look for. So again, I think Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola, Brad Keselowski, and Daniel Suarez all get top 10s. I don't think Kurt Busch or Joey Logano get a top 10 finish at the end of the day. And I think Kevin Harvick goes on to win his first race of the season, for sure, locking himself into the playoffs. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll have a live post-race edition once I get back to the hotel outside of Pocono Raceway after today's race, so tune in for that one. And, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, everybody, for enjoying, for watching, supporting me, as always, and I will see you guys.